Good morning, lovely scholars. This morning we're going to be looking at division at the grade 4 level. So division is one of the 4 basic principles of arithmetic. We have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. At this level, you really need to master all 4 of the basic principles of arithmetic, so that because they are the fundamental operations that you'll be doing, you must master them, because you won't be able to do the other topics in mathematics if you are not able to do these 4 basic ones. There are many others, and as you advance, you definitely will meet the other operations and master them. For now, I'd like you to focus on these 4. When you're asked to share a quantity, particularly to share it into equal parts, that is an indication that you're being asked to divide. So words like actually divide, share, distribute it equally among a group of persons, or distribute a number of things equally, that's an indication that we're being asked to divide. So how do we divide? Well, you can use your fingers, you can use counters, you can use an abacus, you can use any item to represent the quantities. The idea is you want to get an equal number of items in the groups. So whatever number of groups you're asked to divide it into, you want to try to get an equal number of items in those groups. Sometimes you will find that you're not able to divide it equally. So you may get an equal number of groups up to a point, and then you don't have enough to make another group of that amount. So what we call that is a remainder. So for example, if you had 10 items and you were asked to divide it into groups of 4, you put aside 4, that leave back 6, you took out another group of 4, and you find that 2 are remaining. We can't do anything with those 2 because we need 2 more to make another full group of 4. So we would say there are 2 in 10, there are 2 groups of 4 and 2 remaining. The result that we get when we divide is called the quotient. So the number that we're dividing is the dividend, the number that we're using to divide is the divisor, and the result is the quotient. And remember, sometimes we will get a remainder. If you are unfamiliar with those terms, you may go and check the video that I did on the operations of arithmetic, where I explained in more detail the difference, the quotient, the sum, the product, and so on. So division, we're given a quantity and we're sharing it up equally. Okay, so let's look at a few examples. Start with some really basic ones, and then we'll go to some more advanced ones at this grade level. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, now we have something that we call short division, and we have something we call long division. As you go further, and I will be doing videos on long division, so if you're at the point where you're ready to find out how to do long division, just search for that video and I'll take you through the steps. of long division. At this level, we're focusing now on short division. So what we do, we will set it out using our division symbol here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put 9 of them, since we have 9 division problems to work today. Alright, so let's just fill them in. The divisor goes here, the dividend goes under the brackets. Okay? So divisor, dividend, divisor, dividend, and so on. So this is the dividend, divisor, dividend, one, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9. Did I repeat one? Or I repeated one? Alright, let me just change this then to 9. Since I repeated that one. Change that to an 8. Okay. Alright, so we have 8. And we have 5. Alright, let's do this one. 2, 8, 6. Alright, so let's go then. Let's go. So, we're saying we have 40 things. We want to divide them into groups of 4, and we want to see how many will be in each group. Okay? So, 4, we actually can break the number up into its single digits to make it easier. So 4 goes into 4 one time, 4 goes into 0 times. So 40 divided by 4 will give us 10. Right? So in other words, if we had 40 things and we were to divide it into 4 equal groups, each group would have 10. We could also say, if we had 40 things and we're dividing them into 10 groups, 10 equal groups, each group would have 4. So in this sense, the divisor and the quotient are interchangeable. They are both factors of the dividend. If you divide the dividend equal into 4 groups, you'll get the quotient. If you divide it equally into the number of quotients, you'll get the divisor. Okay? Now, 8 divided by 2 is 4. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, that's all it is. We just split it up into its different digits. Now, 4. If we just have 4 things, we can't get 5 things out of it, right? So what we do is we combine these 46 and we say how many times can 5 go into 46? How many groups of 5 can we get out of 46? Now if you know your 5 times table, you know that we can get 9 groups of 5 out of 46. 9 groups of 5 would give 45, so there's 1 remaining out of the 46, and we actually put the 1 there. So now we say how many times can 5 go into 13? It goes into 13 2 times, and we have a remainder of 3. So we put the 2 here, and we put our 3 to show that, yes, we were able to get 2 perfect groups of 5, However, 3 were left back. We couldn't get another group of 5, just 3 were left back. So we're writing remainder 3. Now if we just have 2 things, we can't get 8 things out of them. So we're going to combine these 2 to make 20. If you have 20 things, how many groups of 8 are you able to take out of the 20? We can actually get 2 groups of 8. If you put your 20 counters down and circle 8 things and then 8 more things, you'll find that you're only able to do that 2 times. We don't put the 2 here because we were not able to divide the 2 by 8. We were dividing the 20 by 8. So we put the 2 here. So we were able to get 2 groups of 8 out of 20, and we had 4 left back. We put that 4 here, and now we say 40. How many groups of 8 can you get out of 40? Now if you know your 8 times table, which at this level you should know at least up to your 12 times table at grade 4. So during your spare time, please practice your tables while you're having your bath. Practice your tables while you're doing your chores so that you're very versed in your tables and each time you don't have to be thinking, how much is that again? And you don't have to be starting from 2 go up for each one that you have to do. You should just know it like that. So if we have 40 things and we were taking our groups of 8, we would realize that we were able to do that 5 times. We were able to get 5 perfect groups of 8 out of the 40. So we put 5 here. So that means 8 goes into 225 times. If we divided 200 into groups of 8, we would get 25 groups of 8. And remember, we can do the opposite. If we divided 200 into groups of 25 in each group, we would get 8 of them. So if you want to double check if your answer is correct, when you divide, simply multiply the divisor by the quotient and see if you get back your dividend. In the case where you got a remainder, multiply your divisor by your quotient and add the remainder, and you should get back your dividend. So that is how you check if your principle of division worked, if you got your correct answer. I know some of us are very meticulous and we want to check because we're scholars, right? We want to check if our answer is correct. And we all make mistakes sometimes. So even though you might know your tables, you might know your computation, but for whatever reason you made a slip, maybe you were going too fast, maybe your mind was on something else just for a second there, and you wrote the wrong answer. So if you want to double check, just reverse your step, do the opposite. If you want to check if your quotient is correct, multiply the quotient by the divisor and you should get back your dividend. If you're not sure on how to multiply, there's a video about multiplying. Just look for that video and watch it, and I'll take you through the steps of multiplication. So we're dividing 3 by 12. We can't take any group of 12 if we just have 3. So we're going to go to the next digit. We're going to say 36 divided by 12. If we know our 12 times table, which we should, and if we don't yet know it, we can just put 36 items. Spread out 36 items. Anything, you can use your abacus if you have an abacus. You can use leaves, you can use stones, you can use anything. Just get 36 of them. Put 12 in each group and count how many groups. And we would get 3 groups. Remember now, we're not going to put the 3 here because we could not divide 3 by 12. It's the 36 that we divided by 12. So we put the 3 here. Now we reach the 4. If we have 4 things, can we take any group of 12 from that 4 things? No, because we just have 4. But we have to fill that space with a 0. Remember, our 0 is one of the most important digits in mathematics. The 0 holds the place, and if you don't put your placeholder, you're going to end up with a completely different number from the one you're supposed to. If we did not put this 0, 12 into 48 goes 4 times. 4 groups of 12 are in 48. If we did not put this 0, and many students don't, this is a common error in division. When they get to the middle of the number, see, it's alright to leave the space at the front of the number. Once you get to the middle or the end of the number, the space matters. So, it can't go into the 4. We must fill that place with our universal placeholder, the 0, before we say 48 divided by 12. Alright, so let's look again. 7 cannot go into 1. 7 into 16, we're able to get 2 groups of 7 out of 16, and 2 remains. Because 2 times 7 is 14, so 2 will leave back out of the 16. 7 into 23 goes 3 times, and 2 remains. 7 into 29 will go 4 times, because 4 times 7 would give 28. So we have 1 remaining. So we're going to put remainder 1. And remember, if we want to double check that our quotient is correct, multiply the quotient by the divisor. And since we got a remainder, we're also going to add the remainder to that. We should get our original dividend, and that will tell us that we were correct. So we have 3 to go. 9 can't go into 1. 9 goes into 18 2 times. Because 2 times 9, 18. If we have 18 things and we split them up, put 9 over here, 9 over there, we're able to do that twice. We're able to get 2 groups of 9. 9 cannot go into 3. So what do? Put our placeholder there. Absolutely important. Then we say 9 into 39. 9 times 4 are 36, so it goes 4 times, and we have a remainder of 3. If we multiply 204 times 9 and then add 3, we should get back 1,839. That will tell us if we are correct. 2 to go. 11 cannot go into 4. 11 into 45 goes 4 times, leave back 1. 11 into 13 goes 1 time, leave back 2. 11 into 20 goes 1 time, remainder 9. Okay? And I want you to keep checking with me. If you ever see where I make a miscalculation, point it out in the comments, let me know. Remember, we're all humans, we make mistakes. I might be going a bit fast. If I make an error in the calculation, I want you guys to be sharp, pick it up, and let me know so I can point it out. Alright, so finally, 10 cannot go into 2. So we leave that space. You notice we left the space. When it can't go into it, we left that space at the front. Some teachers may also want you to put the 0 there to hold that place. For me, I don't like to put zeros at the beginning of numbers But certainly in the middle and at the end, you must put your placeholder. So 10 into 28 goes 2 times, remainder 8. The 10 times table is one of those tables that you guys like to just reel out, right? Because you know it so well. So 10 into 86 goes 8 times, and we have a remainder of 6. That's it for division for today. Remember, so let's recap. When we're dividing, we are sharing a quantity up to see how many groups we're able to get with a certain amount in each group. So if we have counters, we're born with these counters, right? That's how humans first started counting, right? So use your fingers or use your mental arithmetic. You're really sharing the thing up to see how many groups you're able to get with a particular number in each group. You're not always able to get just that exact number of groups. Sometimes there's an extra couple left over, and we call those the remainders. So we can't just ignore the remainder. We have to say, this is what remains, this is what's left back. We have to say that. You can't just say, oh, let those just go to the side and later we'll find something to do with them. You have to say how many equal groups you get, and if there are any left back, you need to say these are the remainders. Always remember your placeholder in the middle and at the end of your numbers. If it can't go into it, you have to put your placeholder. And yes, to check, we just multiply the divisor by the quotient. If there's a remainder, add back the remainder, and you should get back your dividend. So that's it for division. If you have been helped, if you understand it clearer now, please give another child the opportunity to understand it just like you do now. Share the video. Please comment and say, thank you, miss, you have helped me. I appreciate that. And if you have not yet subscribed, you know you need to subscribe. So go ahead and do that now, and I'll see you later.